What do you have to complain about, right?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a glorious day. And I just want to say, I hope that you're enjoying the holiday season. And, if not, make a choice, spiral up instead of spiral down. I always say life is a choice, and you can be happy or you can be sad. So, this is the aging experts, and we have a wonderful guest for you today. And she's going to tell us all kinds of things about ways to be healthier and get out of that spiral down of, you know, stuff. And she's going to get basically going to tell us her life story and how she came to where she is in her life
Yeah.
at a midway. Okay, so but first I
You
want
can say 65. 65.
well, yes, and it's a glorious age because
Exactly.
we can do what we want, and we know we can do what we want. And that's what's
Yep.
exciting about being in the second half of life and making it better than the first half, which is my goal. And that's my passion, is to help people live the second half better than the first half, which I certainly am doing. You certainly are doing. Barbara's doing. My husband is doing. So, first of all, let me say, Barbara, say hi to the people.
Hi, everybody. I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm a transformational life trainer because you know what? I truly believe that each and every one of us deserves to lead a happy, healthy, financially free, abundant life. To make the rest of life the best of life. Really, seriously, we deserve to have that. And as we get into being more of the more advanced age, hey, this is a great time. We're footloose, we're fancy free, and we can do our own thing. And we have, and I was like, you know what? If you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine.
Well, let me introduce our guest today.
So yeah,
It,
I'm excited to talk to AJ.
yes, AJ, as she's been in corporate America. When we were chatting the other day, and I mean, traveled the world, had fun, all in corporate America, and now she's launching out on a whole new field
Adventure.
for her second half of life. So, AJ, tell us a little bit about what brought you to this juncture and why other people would want to listen to it and maybe make a step out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Carol. Honestly, I think everything about life is about behavior and change. And we all, as humans, go, oh, we hate change. But the reality is we change constantly. Like
Change is the only constant.
It's
If you're not changing, you're dead. So
why would you want to stick in one place? So, the interesting thing about what I have done, and one of the things I've tried to explain to people throughout my career, my first business was in the environmental field. I designed environmental management systems for companies. My second field was business advisory. I helped family-owned businesses change for the better, behavior change. You change your relationship with the environment, you change your relationship with your business and your customers and your employees. And now I just finished my PhD in holistic nutrition because with my family-owned businesses, they were working 30 and 40 years and were literally dropping dead because they weren't taking care of themselves. They're taking care of everybody else, not taking care of themselves. Then my mom got sick, and well, not sick, but she made it to about 88, and she developed macular degeneration. And she got a really bad diagnosis from her ophthalmologist. He basically said, you're just going to be blind in here. There's nothing we can do. And in my entire life, I never saw my mother cry or be sad or get depressed. She went to bed for 3 days, didn't get out of bed. She was so upset. She's an avid reader. She was driving. She was very social. She volunteered. She went to church. I mean, she watched television. She went to the opera. I mean, she needed her eyeballs. So I got really angry and went on a path to find a way to help her heal or not lose her eyesight, which led me to a holistic naturopath ophthalmologist in Ithaca, New York. And literally he just saved my mother's eyesight. I had to drive her an hour both ways, 3 times a week, but through holistic treatments and acupuncture for your eyeballs with little electrodes and vitamins and exercises and meditation, which she is not woo-woo at all. She made so much fun of me. She's like, I'm not doing any of this. And she did it all. So she passed away a few years ago with her eyesight. She never lost her eyesight. So
Wow.
yeah. So I was really happy about that. So, and in that process, in my career, which has been stressful, I blew out my thyroid and ended up with Graves' disease, which, you know, you're born with the diseases that you have, they either manifest or they don't. So depending on how you live your life and what you put into your body and how you sleep, a disease could be in your body and it just may never come to fruition. So I blew out my thyroid. So that also led me on a path because my endocrinologist also scared me and basically said you're going to have a stroke at 42 if you don't get rid of your thyroid. So I ended up irradiating my thyroid. And he also told me, okay, so now you have to stop working, no more 14-hour days. You're going to be tired all the time. You're going to get fat and your eyes are going to bug out. Literally. And he was one of the top endocrinologists in the Northeast. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
That's not me. And he's like, well, that's what happens. I go, no, that's not going to happen to me. I will not allow that to happen to me. I go, who's going to pay my bills? I go, what do you expect me to do? Stop working? I'm 42 years old. So I went on a path again to search for what I could do about my thyroid. It's amazing the information that's out there, which led me to a PhD in holistic nutrition because it was like, I'm going to do all this studying for my mom and myself. And then people that were, I was working on my MBA at the time, and people would come to me and ask me questions like, how can I fix this? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me research it. I'm not an expert, not a doctor. So with all that work and all that revelation about how much abuse your body can stand and how you can heal it. I mean, we're not kind to our bodies. Allopathy is not kind to our bodies. It's pharmaceuticals and surgery. And I'm not anti-allopathy. You know, I believe in surgery when it's necessary, and I believe in medicine when it's necessary. But you
Key
can do
words
a
there,
lot.
when it's necessary.
Yeah.
It should not be the first approach.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
my
sure
point.
y'all probably remember when antibiotics first started being used. I mean, of course, my grandfather was a pharmacist. He was a compounding pharmacist, but he, you know, I mean, sulfur drugs were common when we were children. And then the antibiotics started coming, and it was just for severe things. And then it got to be, oh, they have a cough, here's an antibiotic. Oh, they have a sniffle, here's an antibiotic. It's like, there's so many things you can do before you get to that. And once you start taking those pills, then you need more pills. Then you that's where Keith ended up on 23 prescriptions, not pills, prescriptions separate every day. Some of them 8 a day.
Yep.
And that's how my health journey started. I had a sinus infection. 5 months later, I still had the sinus infection, but now I was on 5 medications. I finally looked at the doctor and I said, look, there's got to be a better way, and I'm going to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get to that point where it's like, I am going to find it. I am not going to do this.
Yeah, and so many people in this country now don't realize
You just accept it.
You know, they have put the white coats on such a pedestal. They don't realize they can put their foot down and say, no more.
And the other thing that I found is that people want an easy fix. They want a quick, easy fix.
They want an instant fix.
The microwave generation.
Yeah, just cut it out and give me a pill.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of responsibility that comes with naturopathy and holistic nutrition and taking care of your body. And I lived in Seattle for 35 years, you know, born and raised in upstate New York, literally didn't even know there were grocery stores till I was like 13 because I was raised in a catering service and everything got delivered to my grandmother's house. I just thought everybody went to the butcher and the man came and all the produce came in the back of the truck. I had no idea you went to the grocery store. So I was kind of raised no sugar, no soda. Fruit was a treat. I mean, we were allowed to have fruit, but it was mostly vegetables and, really healthy meals. So that's what my body likes. So I was really lucky that I was raised without processed foods and without soda. So I don't have any of those cravings. So one of the things that I did with my PhD is I love the science. I have a degree in chemistry, and I love math. So I really wanted to analyze and understand how the body is affected by our food and how your body processes it. And to be able to help someone figure out, even if I said, take these supplements, eat this kind of food, this will help you with whatever condition you have, but it's not working. Well, why is it working? And a lot of times it's your digestive system. A lot of times it's your body chemistry.
Right.
So, because it's not a one size fits all, our bodies are very customized. Even I have 5 older sisters, and our body chemistries are very different. I'm a lot like my mom thinks. My mom's body chemistry, but she was really healthy up until she was 88 years old. So yeah, again, thanks, Mom. Probably gonna live to be 105. Thanks.
My dad just passed away 6 years ago. He was 102.
Wow. See, yeah.
So,
We have to live long and healthy. And why not be, in your 60s and 70s and feel like you're 30? Why not? Why not have the joints of a 30-year-old? Why not?
I think 70, like I'm 72, and I'm thinking that in the 70s is the new 50.
Well,
I think it's the new 40.
Yeah.
Maybe
In the
40.
scriptures, in the Bible, it says in Genesis, you can go look it up. I think it's chapter 6. It says, I give unto man 120 years. That is the normal lifespan, some more, some less, but 120 was supposed to be the normal. But
Yeah,
we're supposed to give good building blocks for
Right,
that
exactly.
normal. And they have done so much to our food and to
Oh,
our ecosystem that we live in, whether it's air or water or the furniture you're sitting in, it's all messed with. And so our bodies are continually in a battle trying to heal themselves, to stay healthy, to be healthy, with being bombarded by all this junk. And then we add on to it by drinking Cokes and Ho-Hos and Twinkies and, sitting on the sofa eating bonbons and watching soap operas instead of having an active life. And we wonder why people are dying in their 40s and 50s.
And then add the stress level.
right.
Everything in our lives is stressful. We used to have so much stress. We used to have fun. We used to work a good work day and then go out and go dancing or relax or be with people that you love or have some fun. And most of the people, especially, it's just like women, seem to take on 8 times as much as they should. And
Right.
Because they can't say no, or it just is demanded of them. I've seen both parents, male and female, single parents struggle.
Well, or even in a marriage where somebody, they both have jobs, which was not true until the 50s. Usually mom stayed home with the kids until the 50s and 60s.
My mom
But,
worked. My mom worked.
Well, my mom was a school teacher, so my mom did work, but most of my peers, their moms were at home. And my mom was home, I guess, more than a mom that had an office job because she was
home by the time I got home from school.
Yeah. And so, but then the women were also expected to cook and clean and do the laundry and, all of that, where, I mean, I love that one picture where somebody said it shows this house that's just horrendous. And it's like the husband's going up looking for the wife and finds her upstairs in bed reading a book and everything goes, are you okay? What's wrong? What happened? Is everything okay? Are the kids still alive? And she goes, I don't know. They're somewhere. I mean, they were safe. But anyway, he said, so what's going on? She says, well, every day you come home and ask what I did all day. So I thought I wouldn't do it. And you could see what I did. And it's accompanied by a picture of just this tornado of a toddler had gone through the house, food on the floor, toys, clothes.
A friend of mine actually did that. Her husband had a poker night the night before, And he was one of those. So the next morning she called up her mom and said, let's go shopping. Well, he came home that night, and of course the place still smelled of smoke, and there was the ashtrays that were full, beer bottles, and I mean, it wasn't a drunken thing, but it was just a poker party.
Yeah.
And he said, what happened here? She says, well, you always ask me what I do after your night out, after your poker night. Well, today I didn't do it.
What did he
It was
say?
like, oh, never again. It was, oh, let's clean up and thank you very much. And he never, ever said another thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. People don't
It was
realize
just,
what
it was the
gets done.
funniest thing. Well, you
Yeah.
don't, because you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
I really
Until she
led a
didn't do
different
anything.
life. I was a plant manager when I was 26 years old. And I've been an executive since I was 22. So I had staff. I
Right.
had a housekeeper since I was 22 years old.
Mhm.
And even my ex-husband now, but my husband at the time, I made more money than he did. I launched his business for him. And it was like, yeah, I have staff for this stuff. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of this stuff. And I'm domestic. I love to cook. And I like my house sparkling clean, but yeah, there was no way I would ever do that. Which
So
not
do
the way
you
I was
still have
raised.
staff, or are you covering it yourself?
And I don't have employees anymore. I gave them up about 10 years ago and decided to go with 1099s, but I do never give up my housekeeper ever. I adore her.
And that's something I do miss. I did have a housekeeper, especially when the kids were young.
Yeah.
Just so that, and people go, he said, it's like the housekeeper comes in at 10 o'clock at night. And I said, well, we can change that. I do that so it stays clean at least for 6 hours. And so she came once a week. All the sheets were done. Everything was clean. I knew that if I wanted to have somebody over and have a clean house, they could come that evening, because everything was done at once. Because doing it myself with 3 babies under 3, it was, you do this.
I don't
this,
know
that,
how women do it.
and I had my own business also during part of their growing years. I had the modeling agency for many years, and before that had other little entrepreneurial, plants and businesses that I took care of. But and so we used to counsel women that if at all they could afford it, that would be the first thing they needed to do. The husband
Yep.
needed to get her a housekeeper, even one day a week, just so that way all the mundane, the things that
Right.
don't, cleaning out a drawer probably needs your attention. What you want to keep, what you want to toss, but a housekeeper can do the vacuuming and the laundry.
Right.
And
That's what I had.
yeah. And so
Once a week.
yeah,
Totally
but I live
reduces
so
your
far
stress
out
levels.
now.
Yeah.
I don't have access to housekeepers because I live out on the lake in the middle of nowhere. So
She
I
does.
bet there's
it's a
somebody
good
that-
trade. It's a good trade. And it's just the 2 of us now, except when the kids and grandkids are here.
Yeah.
Or Barbara, which she's not messy. But
No.
but that's my choice at this time of life.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Exactly.
wasn't when I had 3 babies to nurture.
Oh, when I was working full time, I had we always called them a char.
Char?
A char. That's a Canadian. It's a Canadian. It was a char. Was somebody that came in and did the basics, like did the vacuuming, cleaned the bathrooms.
Yeah.
That I did every night. I had 3 boys.
Oh,
There was a time that I literally disinfected and scrubbed the floor every night because they were all learning about the same time.
Oh, that's hysterical.
right.
And then their bathroom was also carpeted. And one night Keith got up, it was like 2 a.m, and I'm ripping out the carpet. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, the bath water squished between my toes 1 too many times, because just the 3 babies in and out of the tub. It wasn't that they were bad, but it may have been an extra splashy night. And I thought, this is it. I
Yeah.
don't care what's under it. Carpet is coming out. So I pulled it out and tiled the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that comes back to what we're talking about too a little bit, is a choice.
Yeah. So, all of those things go into holistic nutrition. Your environment, the quality of your food, the quality of the soil that your food is grown in,
Right.
the air pollution, the quality of your living, how you manage your stress, and all that comes in. Because I could set up a meal plan for you, and I could help you, get on a really healthy eating path. But if all those other things are going on,
Right.
and you're in this very high stressed, very high powered position, or your relationships aren't great, it's not going to do you any good. You're going to stress yourself out. And the hard part about that is your body chemistry starts to erode your digestive system. And if your digestive system isn't working, the rest of your systems are going to degenerate.
Yes.
So that's part of the reason I decided to really sit and study the science side and help people be a little more black and white and not so woo-woo, and have some very definitive factual proof. I mean, people talk, one of the things that irritates me the most about the industry, the allopathy industry, is, and you hear it all the time, supplements are not approved by the FDA, by the
Oh, makes me
FDA.
crazy.
Supplements are bad for you. There's no control. And it's just not true. It's just not
Right.
true.
And
It's
insurance
purely
companies won't pay
scientific.
for them.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
one of my pet
Well,
peeves.
Well, one of my pet peeves is they won't pay for medical marijuana, and it's very expensive for cancer patients. I mean,
well, and one of my pet peeves with the people is, here is something that will help your body to heal from da 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 problem.
Almost
And
anything.
heal quickly and heal well. Well, will insurance cover it? No, it's a food.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
do you expect your insurance to cover your groceries from the store that are
Wouldn't that be nice?
really adding to the
That'd
problem?
be nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. And the other side of it is, people say, oh, I'm not going to do that because I eat meat. Well, I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
eat meat. I need the omega-6s. I don't have those in my body. I need the omega-6s. Can't get it anywhere but from red meat.
I'm
I
in
don't eat it
Texas,
every
honey. I
day.
eat a lot of meat.
Yeah, I don't eat it every day, but and
Yeah.
but it's not evil. So,
No.
and there is the environmental side of, harvesting meat. I used to have a farm that raised lamb. He was a lamb harvester in California, and it was a little hard the first time I went to meet him, and he was a very gruff cowboy, but we got along after about 2 hours of him trying to scare the crap out of me, because I'm not a farm girl. I'm a city girl. It's like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to handle this. And he was great. Became one of my best friends. And his lamb was incredible. He was totally organic.
Mhm.
He harvested the lambs when they were young, but not too young. And he was a really great farmer.
Yes.
It was interesting.
And the
So,
meat is so good. And I mean, our listeners know that I live on a lake. I have a homeowners association. They are not happy with me because we have chickens and a peacock, and
oh, I love chickens.
then we have wild deer that love to live on our land because it's safe. And we have turkey and raccoons and possums and squirrels and all kinds of things. But we feed the turkey and the deer just because they need some supplement too. And we even water them so they don't have to go all the way down to the lake. But you know, we raise our own food, and we do raise it organically, and we raised 40 meat birds just this year, just this last month or
Sweet.
so, and harvest them humanely. But people don't realize that our chicken, that even chicken that's raised in America, that they say raised in the USA, goes to China to be processed. Now, I'm sorry. I love the Chinese people, but who knows what really goes on? And how can that meat be good and fresh when it goes over there and comes back packaged? That does not make
It
sense.
doesn't make
to me.
sense.
I know where my birds are, birth to death.
Yeah.
Now I do buy the meat birds, but our chickens sit. I mean, a lot of ours, I've known them since they came out of the little egg,
Wow.
stuff. So,
They have a hard time eating something I raised.
well, We don't eat the layers because they're laying our eggs. In fact, we now have a whole chicken coop for the grannies. There's one little
Sweet.
grosbeak that Keith just, and Barbara's met Ginger, and she's a whole
cute.
little, that the roosters bother her. And when she was all raggedy with her feathers, I mean, she was rough looking, but they thought she was hot stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
And she
we
strutted
put-
her stuff.
Yeah,
We used her as a life. We used her as a life lesson one day. Just,
we did.
you might not be looking at your best, but you strut your stuff anyways.
Birds are
But
so
so
awful.
we will never eat her. But we have some babies that grew up to be roosters, and they're all out there crowing, and so they'll probably be in the pot soon.
Yeah.
We did not get attached to those, so there's a and we just
There's a
did
difference.
lamb. We actually bought a lamb from one of the local guys
Oh.
that he killed and skinned, and we butchered. So, and it was good.
Oh, I love lamb.
Just
Lamb
right
is
in
very good
here,
for
and
you.
yeah, it was a tiny little thing, but yeah, I mean, it was a year old. It was a perfect little lamb. So
Sweet.
So, anyways,
So should we do a time check?
yes. Oh, yeah, we do.
We
We do.
do.
Oh,
so
AJ, this was awesome.
yeah,
Right.
it was. I was kind of watching the time. But do you have any last words for us, AJ,
And
about
how can people get in touch with you?
So you can reach me. I'm just in the process of developing my website, but you can reach me at ajbw@ipns Isadora Pamela Nancy Samantha.com, or my telephone number is 206-714-0034. So the three things I want people to take away is they have to pay attention to the quality of their food. They have to pay attention to the quality of their sleep. The time that you heal your body is from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's the maximum healing time for your body, wherever you are. And
Okay.
you have to absolutely pay attention to the quality of your food. So, and it's not about diet, it's not about minimizing, it's not about fasting, although fasting is really good for you. But those are the three top things that people really need to worry about. And if your body is not equipped well to digest and absorb, and your cells aren't absorbing those nutrients, we have to fix that. And we can. And we absolutely can.
That's
Yeah,
the
we
thing.
can.
We can.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much. You have given
Thank
us
you. It's
so much
exciting.
to think of, and
Great conversation.
our guests will be able to really dig in and glean from this. So thank you, because we do want to make the second half of your life be the best half of your life.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Barbara. This
Hi.
was